Extreme Collectibles here with, I really want a voiceover when I say the word extreme, like extreme or something like that. I don't know how that sounded to you guys, but as you can tell, I don't really plan what I'm going to say. Anyway, I have the third piece in a samurai line here that I didn't plan on getting, but chance favored on me. Chance favors the prepared mind. What movie is that from? See if you can get some points. And now that I got it, it wasn't what I expected. So what does that mean? Well, let's find out. Well, this is awkward. Extreme Collectibles here with quarter scale XM Studios Catwoman from the Samurai line. I was able to win this piece in a raffle, so very excited because as I said in the intro, it was a piece I was kind of on the fence about. I had heard some negative things, I had seen some pictures I really didn't like, and I was able to win it in a raffle, so here it is. It normally costs, I think, 1,200 Singapore dollars was the retail, and that's around 950-ish, 950-ish US dollars, plus shipping, of course. And it was a made-to-order piece, but I think they ended up doing about 900 of them, which actually surprises me they made so many. One of the reasons I didn't want to pull the trigger on this was because I already have Sideshow's premium format Catwoman from Batman Returns, Michelle Pfeiffer, which I think is one of the best and quintessential Batwomen ever made. So it's a very cool piece, and with such a secondary character, I didn't really want to go two different statues. But this has the samurai ties, and I have the Batman and Batgirl samurai lines are actually right behind me, if you can see them, and I've done reviews on them, so go check those out. So it came from XM Studios, from a reseller obviously, because it was a raffle piece, and quite a few pieces to this guy. First of all, the base is one big giant heavy piece, and actually let me do the dimensions. I keep forgetting to do these in the reviews. So it's approximately 26 inches wide. She's about 17 inches tall, and the width is a little over 13. In case you needed to know that. So the base is one single piece, the cat is another piece, the motorcycle comes in one piece, the helmet's another piece, the handlebars, the mirrors, Catwoman, Catwoman's samurai sheath, her whip, her jewels, and then there's a number of switch outs on this. So first her left arm, there's three different switch outs. The first is this one that I've displayed here, kind of a palm out, but a little bit of a closed fist. And then you have that same one where it's a little bit more open, almost like she's telling someone to come here, or she's about to stab somebody with her fingernails. And then one where she's holding it close to her chest, like, my goodness, it's hot in here. That was my attempt at being samurai female, but it sounded like a transgender dude from Alabama. And she has three switch out portraits. The first one shown here is what I entitle kind of the half samurai. She still has the Catwoman mask, but she has kind of the Japanese influence in her hair with the hairstyle and the pins. And then a full out, what I would call samurai Catwoman portrait. And then the unmasked portrait right here, which this is actually my favorite, but it doesn't go with the theme, so I will be switching them out at a number of times. Came in standard XM boxing, where I swear getting those lids off is like the most challenging thing to do on the planet. It's like giving birth, I'm sure, trying to squeeze something out like that. And putting it together was fairly simple. There is a very detailed book. I didn't know if Catwoman was sat on here correctly. I still don't, to be honest with you, but she really can't go any other way. No really other big issues putting it together for all the intricate pieces it has. One cool thing is the motorcycle helmet is actually a very strong magnet, so you can kind of move it around. I do like that. So let's talk about concept and design, and this is where there's pros and cons. First of all, I knew this when I was buying it, is the Batgirl and the Batman are the samurai, and really you can't really tell what century they're in. So it's very, to me, it's very antique-y, very rustic, where obviously this is very high-tech. She has a futuristic motorcycle, yet she's in the days of yore, or whatever the samurai influence is from. I don't have any relatives that were samurais back in the day, so I wouldn't know. But so I don't know if I like that because it doesn't line up with the rest of the characters. I do like the fact that they did something different, and she has her vehicle, she has her motorcycle. I like the fact that she's posing on it. They put a cat in there, which is fantastic. The street we're going to talk about in Sculpt and Paint is really cool. And she's kind of just hanging out, and I love the fact they added this jewel bag. You know, she's a cat thief. So very, very cool. They added the, you know, sheath and the whip and the different head sculpts, and each of the head sculpts kind of tell a different story. So I like what they did with this piece, but I don't like that it doesn't fully match the rest of the line, which obviously I'm going to display together. As far as the design, I think they did a great job. So this is my third motorcycle piece. I have XM Ghost Rider and a custom Logan and Laura X23 piece, and each time you do a motorcycle piece there's always some worry about not only the stability of it, but how is it going to rest, how is you know, is there going to be any scratching on the paint, is there going to be anything like that. So that is a big worry. It doesn't look like that's the case here, so everything fit really well, really tight. The one disadvantage to this piece is it is a heavy son of a... So I'm kind of trying to edit out my swearing, which I should do in front of my kids. Earmuffs. What movie? 5 points. Earmuffs? If you don't know that. Anyway, jumping into the sculpt and the paint on this, first let's start at the bottom. A lot going on here. So first of all, there's kind of a sidewalk, a brick-layered sidewalk, if you will, here with a sewer with Japanese symbols on it. It's a really big sewer. It's a lot larger than a normal manhole would be, but I really like the paint and sculpt on this part of it. It looks really cool, looks like a classic road. There's different layers. The red and black in the brick just really bring it out, and along with that they have the cat. I'm not a big fan of the cat. The cat basic, very plain. There's not really too much texture. I understand why they went with one paint. There's very little going on in the cat's face. I think the cat's a big miss. On the other side of the base is the street, kind of the no loading zone, which she parked in, has the yellow stripes, and it looks like real blacktop concrete, and the paint complements that. So great job on the sculpt and the paint on the overall base. It looks really, really cool, and it's a good part of this. So next we're going to talk about the motorcycle, which I'm going to kind of jump all over so you can see the pictures, and I may be talking about a piece that's not even in the picture, but they did a great job, first of all, with the sculpt of it. Everything from the clutch to the springs to the exhaust to the chains to the tires to the brakes to the calipers to the handlebars looks really good, and I think the paint complements it. I love the fact that they picked this shiny metallic purple. It's a really strong feature and gives the statue a lot of pop. I really like the design of this. I think they just knocked it out of the park. It's a very cool looking motorcycle despite the fact it doesn't fit in with the theme of the rest of them. What they could have done more is some of the black engine parts on the front. They could have added some chrome and a little more detail, different paint colors to insinuate, represent an engine better. The helmet is very, very cool. I like this. I like the fact that it looks like you could actually put it on her. You actually can't. I think it goes theme of the statue and the theme of the samurai. On the back there's actually some loose neck coverings. And then talking about Catwoman, her costume looks great. It's that solid black color, black matte, but there are a lot of distinguishment folds in the sculpt that really pop if you look at it close, that you may not be able to see well on pictures, whether these are down the sides on the seam or right the back side of her knee where it meets her boots that go all the way up to her knees. It's a really great job on the bottom part. I really enjoy the fact that they added the whip and you can wrap it yourself. That's kind of neat. Her sword in the back looks normal, looks okay. There's nothing really super fancy about it. It's a kind of more of a knife, actually. She has a nice ass. Again, if you're a guy that likes big butts, this is, I guess it's not big, but the position she's in, she's really showing it off. And then they did a great job with her shirt, her blouse. First of all, a lot of texture in it, not only in the front parts of it, but down the sleeves where there's kind of an intricate design and some texture inlaid there. And it looks like a few different colors of black, which I know is almost impossible because black's one solid color. But I really like how they sculpted it, where a little bit's falling off her shoulders in the back. Obviously, her tits are sticking out in the middle. I'll let you be the judge of that. Her hands, the paint job is okay. I think the sculpt is really good. I think they did a little bit of a miss where her flesh tone meets the nails she has on there. If you look really, really close, there's kind of a mix of the paint together, so you can obviously tell that it's painted. But otherwise, I really like the sculpt of it. The flesh tones, they should have probably thrown in a few more, not only there, but on her chest. And then moving up to her sculpt of her face, very cool. I like it a lot. I don't like the teeth on the different portraits. They didn't do a very good job with the teeth, which is maybe why I like the closed mouth better. But they did a great job with her hair, the flow of it, the individual strands, her eyes, some very good detail in there. And the paint really complements both her eyes and her lips especially. Great job on that. Her nose on each of them I think looks okay. It's not disproportioned, just something doesn't sit right about it for me. But very cool job on all the different head sculpts that you see here. Each one kind of has its own flavor and its own merit to display, so it'll be interesting to see how I switch those up. So that's XM Studios Catwoman Samurai. I want to know your thoughts on it, so please let me know if anyone else has this. What other pieces do you have from the Samurai line coming? That'd be cool to know too. So go ahead and drop me a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Really appreciate you watching. Take care.